piece of paper that I folded up and put in the sun, and it got wet, and I don't know what happened to it, but I ended up liking the way it looked. So here it is, all found art. Hello, Gary Scott. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but it has a frame on it now. $1 million. Add to shopping cart. Here's another frame that you'll take two. Okay. Another frame which I will put away. This is one of my famous peas, taking a pea, which I can frame. I mean, it's already framed. I can put the nails in. Here's one of my diploma heads that fit in this frame. And then these are Russell's pictures, which I will wait to show him. Oh, well, they just had a show in New York about found art, and it was evidently quite fun. In the case of that show, it was a little bit more profound than a folded piece of faded paper, though not all that much more different than that. Some of it was pretty, shall we say, thin. I don't know what we should say. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back where it was. I'm going to show Russell these and see what else I can do. Okay. Come on, Russell, where are you? There's Russell. So here's the frame I used for this. here's the frame I used for this one. Goes well with the old man and the bunny. I just put this in a frame. It's a piece of folded brown paper that got wet and faded. So that white piece is actually the same as the brown. I thought, well, I kind of like that the way it is. So put it in a frame and $1 million and it's yours. And here's one of my little diploma heads that I framed. And one of my peas, I'm taking a pea I framed, but I need to just put a little nail in this to hold it in. 2 little nails. Do it later. Yeah, I think they do. I have a lot of art that some of it is framed and some of it isn't. And I have lots of frames that are sometimes empty, sometimes not. And I just need to get rid of things. That's what I need to do. So, Russell, would you like to join me and draw? Russell was excitedly telling me about something that was inspiring him earlier today. And maybe he can, if he wants to, share that excitement with you. Or not. We can draw something else. Russell, I did get 17 dozen of these Prismacolor pencils in silver. Very thin Prismacolor argent metallic silver pencils, 204 of them. And I found some really nice black paper that works really well with them. Which is around here somewhere. Guess I can't find it now. There you are, mister.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello, hello.
Yes, I'm going to detail how I've been struck by fortune, I suppose, and I'm going to be making a video about it at a certain point. So that should be at least entertaining for me.
Good. Well, I've decided that it's really hard making other people happy, and you have to focus on what makes you smile, I think. So if it's making you smile, that's great.
I think so.
Yeah. Your hairdo continues to amaze me.
It certainly has.
It's that what
How
your
so?
hairdo or your
You can't
or
even see it right now.
I can't see it, but I
My
see it
hairdo.
and I see it enough to know, and I saw it once without the benefit of your hat and your headphones. So again, you looked very very different than you normally do with short hair.
Yes, I suppose so. Uh,
So
let's
have you decided what piece of art you want to show
groom.
as artist? What was the term we used for you? Uh, Something starts with a C. Something artist number one. What was the term that you liked? Russell. Russell's frozen. Maybe he'll be back. Okay. Let me, on the other hand, find something to draw on. Oh, hello.
Hello?
You're back.
Okay, yeah. I think what we were looking for was charter artist was the term, wasn't it?
Charter. Yeah, charter member, charter artist. Yeah.
Yes, the charter member.
Have you decided what you're going to draw for your charter member?
What about it now?
The drawing that you
Oh,
would show for your charter member has to be good.
yes. You know, at first I was thinking
Yeah. First, you were thinking what?
but now I think I want to go absolutely ridiculous and do John Brown.
Do what?
Can you hear me all right?
I didn't hear what you said.
Can you?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. You're going to go absolutely ridiculous and do something art. Yeah, I think Russell's internet is a little bit fluey. Trying to see if I like this. Yeah, I know it is frustrating. I'm trying to think of. I think this is too light. The silver pencil has to be on black paper, I think. Um, should I use this to do my little drawings in? What is this going to be like? This could work. Use this photo album for silver ink. Okay, Russell, try this.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Uh, uh, Can you
I,
can
I
you hear
can't.
me okay?
I can hear you okay now. Yes.
Yeah, I switched to my phone.
Okay.
What was he just decided to give up on me?
Okay. So
But
what kind of art are you going to do for your charter member piece to shock them?
so so what I was thinking about, and I guess that's a clue as to what this is going to be. It's just an art themed thing.
Yeah.
Um, I at first I was thinking that it would have to be the Flatwood. But now I think I want to be completely ridiculous and do John Brown instead.
Do I know what John Brown is? Probably not. You have to
John
tell me.
Brown, John Brown was a West Virginian man who essentially decided that he would free all of the slaves and get them on a boat back to Africa. And so
Uh,
he took over an armory at Harper. Well, he may not have been West Virginian. Don't trust me on that. He took over an
okay.
armory at Harper's Ferry
Yeah.
and led a slave revolt, and he
Oh,
was basically put to death after that.
I see. Well, I think for a West Virginia themed
Project.
non-fungible token thing, that would be good.
Yeah, I think
because
so.
because it's all about owning property, right?
Oh geez, that went to some bleak places.
Did you not like where that went?
That yeah, that
That went too far in one direction.
maybe, but you
Well,
know,
I
I will cut you some slack with I will cut you some slack with historical accuracy on the point as to that's what they would have thought.
well, I don't know. I mean, you were telling me about how non-fungible tokens are very anti uh, earth friendly, right? They're very
Yeah,
environmentally. Now, I don't know. I don't understand exactly. Yes, I do understand how ones and zeros actually cost a rainforest to be cut down and
right.
used into something, turned into energy. But if I put a frame around this piece of paper and sold this to someone, this is taking up. There's a carbon footprint connected with this too.
Yeah.
So, how much more of a carbon footprint is a non-fungible token?
So imagine it like this. Imagine that you have that piece of paper in a frame, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
there.
it's sort of dissolving rapidly, right? Or well, I'm not going to even make it into a metaphor. Look, so
Okay.
basically, the idea, because that would be too difficult. But the NFT sort of thing works a lot like with Bitcoin, right? So in order
Yeah.
to preserve the sanctity of the code, it requires servers to keep them all up, right? And you need a lot of server space. So you have to imagine all of those computers being dedicated to just maintaining just keeping
Okay.
the pictures alive, right?
I see.
And
Okay.
then
So,
most of those yeah, and then most of those NFTs are actually bought with Bitcoin.
okay.
And Bitcoin, as you may already know, is the
Smoke
way
and
that they
mirrors anyway.
harvest it. Well, the way that they mine Bitcoin, as they call it, is that these computers are essentially solving very difficult puzzles all the time. And
Okay.
in order to do that, they need to have a lot of electricity planted into
I,
them.
I see.
And people have dedicated entire server farms in order to uh, create um, these Bitcoin. in order
Okay.
to obtain these Bitcoins. So essentially, what's happening is people are wasting loads of electricity in order to get a monetary unit that is not stable nor endorsed by any government, and that really just, as we've all seen, uh, results in bubbles blowing up and then popping.
Okay. I understand all of that. Um, I guess if my QR code, if this thing was just ones and zeros, and I sold this non-fungible token image to you, only you had it, it still exists in its non-negotiable form. It's free form everywhere else in the world, on everyone else's iPhone could access this image, right? And there's all sorts of
Yeah.
computers keeping it fueled. So there's a bunch of people down in the hold boiler room of this big non-fungible token coal burning ocean liner, throwing coal in to keep it all going, even though
Yeah.
this thing that I sold you for 20 bitcoins or
Yeah.
whatever the denominations of Bitcoin coinage is, and you have the exclusive rights to this, the real one, though I can give as many exact duplicates of the image to anyone I want to for any,
Yeah.
for even though you have the original for some reason.
It's
All of
sort of
that
like
is,
with the Mona Lisa, where,
yeah,
there's the original, but then
yeah,
you can just print it out as many times as you like, except with this, you're not claiming the original. Not
yeah.
really. You're
Well,
claiming a digital image of
the
you're
original,
claiming not even the digital image of the original, but you're claiming a code that has been attached to a digital image of the original. So imagine it's like you imagine it's like if you bought the Brooklyn Bridge.
yeah,
You have the title to the Brooklyn Bridge. You do
yeah.
not own the Brooklyn Bridge.
Well,
Everybody can use the Brooklyn Bridge.
the guy that sold
Yeah.
it to me said I owned it. I can put up a toll booth tomorrow, but
And
but
then nobody believes you and you get arrested.
well, anyway, I
Except unless it's an NFT, in which case, you seem
then
cool and
I'll
smart or
okay.
something.
Well, it sounds like as long as you're going into it in the and sort of with your eyes open and knowing that you're sort of making fun of this whole thing, I think it sounds good to me.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go into it thinking I'm going to make loads of big money off of this, though I was
No,
looking at their website.
yeah,
Now, they did say that all the participating artists would be compensated.
yeah. By giving
Now, of course,
them, they're going to trade some non-fungible tokens to you. That
yeah.
they're just going to, if they need more, they'll just go and take some more pictures and
Yeah.
stick a
Of
QR
course, it
code on it.
said, like, all pasted all over that website that they have is further details to be announced, and of
Yeah,
course under compensation is further details coming soon.
yeah.
So of course
That's
they're not saying how much they're going to
no,
compensate
no,
you.
no. We want
They're not
we
saying how they're going to compensate you, and they're not saying certainly when.
yeah,
So
yes. Well, where's uh uh where's my money? Yeah, that's the thing. So,
that's
but
the eternal question.
I think your what was his name? Something Brown. Your the
Oh, John Brown, yeah.
John Brown. I think that would be a good thing to do, and
Hmm.
because it is appropriate to your West Virginia state. And if they don't know it, if these people that are all about West Virginia don't, if Moose and Jeb
Yes, if
don't
Moose and the gang.
Moose and the gang don't know who this is, then you know something's wrong. Now, I'm from
Yeah.
Minnesota, moved to Boston. I'm not the dumbest person on the planet, but I don't know a lot of history. So I don't know that, but I'm not from West Virginia. And if he's an important part of your state's history, then I think they should know it, Jeb
Yeah,
and
they
Moose.
probably should.
And if they don't,
Especially
then
since they actually mention him in the video too.
oh, they
So
do.
they should
Oh,
know it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if they mention him in the video, how do they
Yeah.
mention him?
They mention him as an example of, how NFTs work. So like they say, oh
how
well,
did
if
what's his name, Brown, John
yes,
Brown,
how
know
does
about that?
how do NFTs work, you ask? And they say, well, there's John Brown. And no, they explain it like this. They have, like I told you, this silhouette, right, of West
Yeah,
Virginia is
yeah,
state borders.
yeah.
And the idea is that they have a bunch of artists making loads of artwork for them. And they take those artworks and shrink them down to tiny squares so that they'll fit into this silhouette, right?
Okay, yeah,
And so it's like if you get a bunch of John Browns, then it's just a common one. And a bunch of John Browns and maybe a few other things. If you get like just two John Browns and a bunch of other things, then it's out of the ordinary. And if you just get one John Brown and a bunch of other things, then it's incredibly rare.
yes.
Now, they didn't exactly explain it all that well,
No,
so I'm not
I don't, I
entirely
don't know
certain
whether
how it's supposed to
I don't
work.
know whether you explained it all that well either.
I don't
So
think I don't think I did. I don't
no,
think
you
there is
did.
a mode in which
So
one could explain it well.
okay, so here is, I just looked it up. Here is the silhouette of your state.
Yes. You're drawing the panhandle there.
Okay, so this
Yep.
is going to contain one image, or is this going to contain
This is going to
5,000?
contain multiple images. So the way that they've separated it is okay, you see that the spike at the top?
Yeah,
Okay, draw a line right that separates it from the larger piece of the state, right?
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
that above that line is layer 1. Presumably an image will fit in there.
Okay.
And then you can draw 3 more lines separating out the entire state, right?
Yeah, I guess.
And each of those lines is going to be a layer that that contains an image. Oh, and they're all horizontal.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. If you could see their diagram from their YouTube video, you would see just how incredibly inept they are at design. These are
Okay, well, this, if I was a West Virginian uh, artist, this is maybe what I would do. I would do, here's our border,
right.
more or less. I would, this would be the Kaiser's spiked helmet. So this is another, this is a part of West Virginia history that they don't teach in your school's system.
Yes, they don't usually mention the Kaiser.
But this is what I would send in, and I would say that this is, just look it up online, and I'd actually create a website that has the history of the Kaiser visiting, and the Kaiser was earlier at the Alamo and was really like the raccoon hat that Davy Crockett had. Did Davy Crockett have the raccoon hat? Raccoon tail?
Yeah, Davy Crockett.
So, and the Kaiser wanted the raccoon tail added to his hat.
Right.
So, and this is how he See, and then there's no room for any other art. It's just
Yes,
the Kaiser
just the Kaiser, and then you
and
just repeat
his
that
his no,
for loads of other things.
it's just the one thing. This is charter artist number 2. You're going to do number 1.
Yes.
I'll so there we
You
go.
can pretend to be from West Virginia, and we'll have you be number 2.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be number 2. That's what that's what I should be. So, okay.
I'm only half joking.
Yes.
We could do this together, Pierre.
No, we could. We certainly could. But I'm thinking that it it just sounds like Moose and his friends who met recently at however they met again. I forget what you
They
said.
all met in college apparently, and then
They
they
met in
like got
college.
out. They fell out of contact for years, and then they got back into contact, and they were all obsessed with NFTs.
They're all ready to go with this stuff.
Yeah.
Hello, Manic. Well, I think I'm looking forward to seeing them on the cover of Forbes magazine
Oh,
when they get to be so rich.
absolutely.
Uh-oh.
There.
What was that? Your mouth is wide open and what did you say?
Oh, the Fortune 500 men right there.
Yeah. When they get to be up to that level, I'll look forward. I'll say I knew Moose when he was
Yeah.
just a
I knew
buck.
Moose when he was just starting out. When he was a greenhorn.
When he was a greenhorn, before he had horns.
Yes.
Well, anyway, it sounds like I'm glad that you're as enthusiastic about this as you are.
I'm not. It's kind of scary, but
Well,
I've got to follow these passions where they lead.
Just don't give them come up with a new email and a new password that you say, well, I'm making a new email just for this one project.
That's not a bad idea.
NFT Charter 1,
Yes.
or whatever what is their group title?
They're called 1863 NFT because 1863 was the day our state was founded. And you'll be excited to know that I emailed him, and I will be meeting with him this evening at about 10 o'clock.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I know.
Make sure you meet him in a public place. No, you're meeting him on Zoom or something, right?
By the liquor store.
Behind the liquor store.
Yeah,
in the bad part of
by the
town.
liquor store. Yeah, no, we're meeting over Zoom. It should be an interesting one. He says he's going to try and get his compatriots to join in, but I don't know
God,
whether that will be the
they're all
case.
sitting on the couch drinking Bud Light right now.
Yes, all just waiting on that Zoom call.
NFT. Okay, I'm gonna is it a .com or a .gov?
It's not .gov, definitely.
Oh,
Let me look
I found
here.
it. Look, I found it.
You found it.
Now, why is there a
It's
cardinal? Is that your state bird?
So the cardinal is the state bird, yeah.
Okay.
My sister was railing about that cardinal because she was up.
Why does it say Discord?
Did I go away?
Why does it say Discord right there on the first?
Okay, so Discord is an online chat platform. It started out being very popular with people who play video games over the internet.
I see.
And so they started an account for themselves.
I see.
It's the hip thing to do these days. But my sister was very angry about their cardinal logo because
Yeah,
she was just picking it apart
yeah.
from a graphic design standpoint, because she was saying that's not going to convert well to black and white, and that eye and the beak they are not going to convert to scale. What are you going to do with that?
And the fact that they don't have any legs of any sort
Yes.
isn't
Like,
helpful.
I mean, they very obviously.
Are clueless. They went to the first. I wonder if I'm gonna a cardinal bird. It's probably the first image on Google Images of a cardinal that they could find.
We can check. I'm sure it's somewhere on there. Let me look
Well, it
here.
must be the first page at any rate. It may not be the very first one.
Probably if I searched cardinal bird, it's not gonna come up quite right. But if I bet
Well,
if
if
I
you if
search
you
clip art,
or cardinal logo, well, you'll get logos for. Isn't there a baseball team called the Cardinals?
yeah,
So
there is. Funny
so
enough, I'm not really finding it.
okay. Well,
Maybe it's an original design.
it could be an absolute original design, and their font. They have it's sort of this angular Germanic nastiness going on.
Yeah, I don't know where they found that.
Um, well, do screen captures at least of Moose and his friends. I would love to see what they look like.
Well, you have their graduation photos right on the website.
I haven't. I didn't. I was afraid to click further.
Yes, it's on Origins.
Origin roadmap. Oh,
Yes. Oh, there they are. Handsome as the devils.
there's Moose. Well,
Yes, Moose.
you know, but this is what they looked like in
This is what they
1980.
looked like years ago. Yes.
And there's Jeff. Oh, and this guy. Could they find a picture that?
Yes, it's a very blurry picture.
Yeah, and this one.
That's
Um,
that's the that's the gang.
Now, what I want to know is why does the highlight is on this side of Jeff's face, but the highlight is on this side of Jeff's tie? Do you think there was a little photoshopping going
Well, it
on?
looks like it looked there might have been, but it also looks like his tie is sort of concave rather than convex there. See what I mean?
I can see what you're saying, but it's not. And here's Stu.
Yes. Who does not look very cheerful.
No, he's the one that's in charge of getting rid of the bodies.
Yes.
Clarksburg.
Stu's the body bag guy.
Michael Moose Melfragiote
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name either.
and Jason Stu Wilhelm. See, they'd like the Wilhelm Kaiser head,
They would. They would.
broadly known as Web
There.
3. Oh, see, they say they're the bad guys.
No, they say they're the bi guys.
Oh, the bi guys. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they're the bi guys or if the bi guys are just a bunch of guys they like.
It all goes
Let me
back
look
to
here.
It all goes back to
West,
Virginia,
yes.
which is almost heaven, evidently.
Yes,
The
that's
bottom
our
line.
thing. It comes.
The bottom line. Let's go.
Yes, they're making references. So almost heaven is John Denver's Country Roads.
I see.
It's the first line, almost heaven, West Virginia.
Okay.
And then the let's go is supposed to be a thing, is like the chant for the big state football team, the Mountaineers, is "Let's go Mountaineers," and so they're trying to do that, but with the way they write it, it ends up being "Let's go."
Yeah. grow and beyond. Sometime in 2022, expanded.
Gary Scott asked, is that BI or BIY?
Well, that's what I was wondering about BI as well, the buy guys.
Yes, they might be bi guys. I don't know.
Well, you better watch your back. Featured artists. Oh, this is coming soon. See, this is artist number
Yes,
one.
artist
This is
profile
you.
1.
This is you.
This is me.
Your picture better be there, boy.
I am that canon.
And I am going to be picture number 2.
Yes.
No, all they had to do, dear, those 4 guys must have known at least one artist. And they could have, before they put this website up, they could have got that one artist to ask 6 of their friends.
Now look here, they're businessmen. Do you expect them to actually convene with if the debaucherous sort that we are, with the filth of the world?
Okay, this Jim Crim. Now that
yes, seems... that's the one artist I guess they know, and they used his images to fill in those empty spaces, those to insert all of the background images.
His work lines the hallways of businesses, hospitals, schools, and homes. Just the hallways, not the place above the fireplace, not the mantelpiece.
Yeah, no offices, no fireplaces, no bathrooms,
no museums,
just
but the
halls.
hallways of schools. He creates layers of symbolic images from vintage postcard scenes to local architecture. Oh, Catherine Crim. That must be his daughter or wife, or both. Could be.
Oh dear. We're getting back into bleak territory here.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't say. Joys and her skills of drawing and painting to a new. Okay. After hours, she creates her own pieces to exhibit, enjoy, share, and market. Find out more. I'm afraid this is going to bring me. Oh, here's some of her art.
I haven't taken a look at it. I didn't even see her on the webpage.
Well, it was under. I don't know where it was now. How I got there. Art by Crim.
Oh, it would be featured artists, right?
No, it was
Jim Crim. Oh, it's art by Crim.
Photographers were donated. They were donated by him. So yeah. he's already got artist number 1 spot in his wife daughter. And his wife daughter.
Now it doesn't say that he made an NFT. It just says that the photos for the website were donated by him. So we'll see.
But isn't this photograph an NFT? It might be.
I mean, no, not yet. They still have to attach a stupid code to it.
But the stupid code is not going to be. Is it the stupid code on every single image that you see of this thing?
No, okay. It's just on like one, and
the one that they email you for your low price of 28,000 bitcoins or whatever.
Yeah. Just I don't know the conversion rate to Bitcoin.
Well,
as far as I understand, a single Bitcoin would be something like $100. But so again, I wouldn't take my word on it.
These non-fungible tokens, in order for me to get one, so I can buy someone's art code.
Okay. Yeah.
I buy with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, for the most part. You can buy it with, I believe, US dollars too. But most people are going to be using.
But I'm not that stupid.
Yeah. So 1 Bitcoin That cannot be right. Okay.
Did they say what a Bitcoin is worth?
Okay. So 1 Bitcoin, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
1 Bitcoin is currently priced at $47,361. I can feel the look on your face.
No, the look on my face is, yes, if I have a handful of magic beans and I trade them to you for a unicorn, and you trade that unicorn for a leprechaun, that's all fine. We can do that all day long. It's when someone is suddenly decides that this fictitious entity is worth 43,000 some dollars.
Now, here's an important point to bring up. Now, just because people say that that is what it's worth, and everybody agrees that that is what it's worth,
you can't
that
sell
doesn't
it.
mean that somebody's actually going to buy it. Yes.
And I can't sell it. So if I had
Yes,
two,
and how many places do you know that actually offer like Bitcoin conversion, right?
okay, so if I had, let's say I had 2 Bitcoins,
Then you would be very rich, yes.
and I
Well,
wanted,
you would be theoretically rich.
and I could sell I could provide the actual coinage to you and
Yes.
sell them to you for $28.50. I think I'd do pretty well with the $28.50 in my pocket rather than these imaginary monies.
Yes, I mean, you have to imagine it a bit like the antiques market, right? So imagine if you were selling a really rare fountain pen, like
I
you'd
know,
found
but
the mother of all fountain pens.
okay, I understand that, but
Yeah.
there's a fountain pen. There is an actual thing.
Yes, here there is no thing.
There
Here
is
there
no
is
thing.
absolutely no thing.
There's
It is money without any actual value associated. Well, it has value associated with it, but that value is determined by money, which is already an abstract value. So it's an abstract. It's like with stock.
okay. So here's our pyramid scheme. So here's the guy that has the most
Yes.
people willing to give him more stuff for
Yes. And
his huge thing of Bitcoins, and everyone
yes,
else is
and
buying it from him and trading this Bitcoin for that Bitcoin and this thing for that thing, and all of this is being
and
held
you
up
know,
by you and me and
at the bottom,
Moose and Jeff and
Jeff
Stu.
and Stu.
But these people somehow think that they're going to get to the top of this pyramid.
Yes. I mean, it is,
And
the
there's
only way,
just
it is literally just like how you described with a pyramid scheme,
yeah.
where the more people buy into it and the more people you can get to buy into it, the more money you make.
But these people right here, they're not at the top, but they're
No.
pretty close to the top. These are all drug dealers, and they're going to kill anyone who tries to get further up than they are. And they will use real
I mean,
bullets.
basically.
They'll use real bullets, not imaginary ones, and they're going to just they're going to take your money, all of your little bag of Bitcoins, and they're going to take that, kill you. Then the guy that's in charge of getting rid of the bodies, what was his name? Forget.
Oh, I don't even remember that guy, the angry one.
The angry one, yeah.
But you know, it's and you don't even know how on the point you are with the drug dealer analogy, because there are drug dealers that are using these Bitcoins
no, I'm sure
as
they
modes, yeah, as modes of laundering money, essentially.
There's enough people in this pyramid. I'm way over here. I'm on the here I am. I'm in a ditch. This is me.
Yes. You and I are in the ditch right now.
And because we're below the horizon line, we really don't, this is all the world that we see is right here. We don't see any bit of this. And this is where all the
Yes.
pyramids are, and all the money, and all the hot girls, and all the hot guys, and all of the.
But it's not even that, Pierre. It's not even that. So imagine that we're in the ditch, and the ditch is a cave of shadows, right? So we're seeing the shadows that of like the Bitcoin thing. We're seeing all of these people doing their Bitcoin stuff, and we're being entertained by it. But we're only seeing the shadows.
Okay, so
And the
here's
Bitcoin people are up there where you just
yeah,
had them.
yeah.
But
So here's
they're play acting. They're also play acting, and they're watching their own shadows.
okay. So there.
That is in order to confirm that yes, this play acting is actually reality.
Okay,
While
so
outside it goes on the real world.
okay, and then here's the shadow. There's the sun. There's the pyramid.
Yes.
We see the shadow of the pyramid here, but we're in the gully, so we don't actually see the reality anywhere. Now,
Yes.
is this a flat Earth or is this on top of the turtles?
I mean, it would have to be on top of the turtles.
Okay.
There's no other alternative than the turtles and the elephants.
Okay.
And the
Well,
pillars. Don't forget
and
the
I'm
pillars.
not going to forget the pillars.
Yes, they're crucial. I
and
mean, the elephants wouldn't be able to hold up that one turtle. They need pillars too.
the pillars. Uh, the pillars.
No, the pillars hold up the world,
Their
which rest
pillars
on
hold
the
up the world,
turtle.
rest on the
Yeah.
elephants, and the
Yeah, they
elephants
rest on the elephants. You're right. They rest on the elephants, and the elephants are on top of the turtle.
And the turtle's on top of a different turtle, and etc. All
The
the way
turtles
down.
are on top of the
About.
yeah. The turtle's on top of another four pillars that are on top of another four elephants that are on top of another turtle.
No. It's just turtles all the way down. It doesn't go back and forth.
It goes back and forth. I mean, you think a single turtle could support all of that weight?
No,
I mean,
a single turtle
they've got to
supports
have extra
columns. No, we did the drawing already. We have we have the Earth, we have the four columns, and they're on four elephants. The elephants, they're the 16 legs.
Talking a bit about Bitcoin, he says worth about 42K, so maybe the numbers people aren't looking. That was the 24-hour high. He says it's gone up 5K since yesterday. And NFTs, I think they are purchased with Ethereum, which is somehow linked with Bitcoin, but again, escaped my mind because the only interaction I really have with NFT is just looking at it with general disdain and moving on. So,
well, you have to come up with your picture to go on the top of that, West Virginia shaped silhouette.
Okay, and one Ethereum is $3,425.
For what? Ethereum, is that measured by the ounce or by the pint?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? I mean, it sounds like it's on the periodic table of the elements. Alito Escobar.
So I'm looking up NFTs just to get us a little bit more clear. Types of NFT data units may be associated with digital files, just videos, photos, and audio. From blockchain cryptocurrencies because they're uniquely identifiable. Let's see uses.
I can buy Ethereum in 3 minutes. It says right here.
You could
buy Ethereum
standards
with
in
Gemini.
Blockchain, specific token standards. Ethereum was the first blockchain to support NFTs. So it's linked. So NFTs are essentially linked to this blockchain, which again works on the same basis as Bitcoin, right? It's doing the same thing as Bitcoin with the computers solving all the puzzles, and NFTs are directly linked and dependent upon that. You need this blockchain in order to get NFTs, because the computers are essentially just going to be generating more and more of those NFTs. because in order for one to be particularly rare, you have to have a bunch that aren't so rare. So
I
now that helps clear it out.
it's I'm ready. I've got my checkbook out here. Who do I make it out to?
I know there is no
Ethereum,
better investment to be made.
Ethereum, Ethereum are us.
Yes. So here's my question of the day. Seeing all of this, do you find communism somewhat more tempting?
It certainly
Because
sounds.
you know I'm already well convinced.
I certainly can understand its attractiveness when you're dealing with a bunch of millionaires making their own money that they
Yes.
share amongst themselves that we can't have any of. So let's take it all from them.
Speaking
Yes.
speaking of which, I
Yeah.
mean, I have actually read Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged.
Yeah.
And that's basically what she proposes as the solution to the world's problem.
Is
At the end, all of the rich millionaires, right? They go to a special island in the middle of the world, and they all work and trade gold for each other's services. None of them give anything to anybody else. There
it's
is
just
no charity, no favors.
I
They
see.
buy everything from each other,
So
and
that
they all make their own things.
so here's one
So they
millionaire
get to
with
live
his
in their own utopia while everything crashes down around them.
okay, so here's what
It's a ridiculous book.
here's one millionaire with his money, his gold bars, and his wheelbarrow that he made. He makes
Yes.
wheelbarrows. And let's say he gets hungry. Is someone on this island?
Presumably somebody is going to be growing some food or, porting in cattle from some mysterious place. I don't know.
I thought, okay,
They didn't really think this through, I don't think.
maybe
Honestly, in a real life situation, all of them would either starve or start killing each other.
I think they would do both,
Yes,
and
that's
then
likely.
they'd realize, uh,
They realize, oh, wait, we need the working class to support all of our idiocy. Maybe we better go back to the real world. But of course,
oh,
Ayn Rand lived in a reality where all of the rich people were there because they were highly competent, which is not the case, as we have
no,
just
no, no,
seen.
no, 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 no. This whole everyone in this pyramid scheme is relatively incompetent, I think, but that's just my opinion. I need to get some
Yes.
water, and
Okay.
whatever volume I want, Gary says I could buy Ethereum in.
As long as you're willing to spend some for it. How are we feeling, audience in the chat? Has it been a decent day? My day's been turned upside down by all of this. I really did not expect Bitcoin to be like $42,000 for a single Bitcoin. Now I know people are dividing it into like 0.1 Bitcoin, for example, but still, yeah, man. Like the amount of computer work, the amount of electricity it would take to produce one single Bitcoin is kind of astounding to me. Right? And it's just like you could be doing something better with all of that, couldn't you?
Okay.
So, oh yeah, Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
That's what Gary Scott says that this is more like a Ponzi scheme and not a pyramid scheme.
Uh, probably.
I think he's right.
The,
If I'm recalling correctly, Ponzi was an Italian.
yeah.
Hey, he's an Italian who
Yeah.
immigrated to the United States, and he started essentially, I can't remember what product he used. Let's
Well,
see.
he ended up just
He ended up
offering
in jail.
people. He ended up offering very high percentage of people's investment. So
Yeah.
he ended up taking Joe's money, giving it to Moose,
Yes.
and,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then when as long as people were getting their money, they were happy because these
Yeah.
their monies
But
got
essentially
bigger and
it
bigger.
was circulating and it
But as
wasn't really generating
but
anything,
as
right?
soon as Moose wanted his money, and if Joe wanted his money, there wasn't enough money to give back because he
Yeah.
was. I mean, he might have, if he didn't spend any money and ate nothing and didn't have to drink water and didn't have to wear clothes, and he didn't offer a return of percentage, he could give all the money back. But he was promising like 50% or something huge in the year. So you get,
Yes.
and that can't exist very long. So,
No.
um, and
But I mean, you're literally robbing Peter to pay Paul at
you
that
know,
point.
except you're robbing
You're robbing Moose to pay Stu.
Larry, Moe, and Curly to pay
Yes.
Peter. You're robbing lots of people, uh, but and the little people down at the bottom. They
Hmm.
were providing money, but it was the big people that put in a lot of money that he could never pay back. He
Yeah,
might be able to
and
pay a
I
bunch
mean,
of little people, but
they're buying this thing which is essentially just a promise to generate wealth, right? It
um,
promises to generate wealth. It doesn't
yeah,
actually generate
a
anything
damn
of
it
value.
doesn't do a damn thing. Um, Well, I get people on Instagram, they ask to be my friend and follow me, and then they say hello. And then if they're not trying to say how handsome I look and uh, they want me to buy
Yeah,
them
so
something, they want me to buy these Bitcoin things. And they
mhm.
will send me this thing saying I made $38,000. And then I say, oh, good, you can buy some of my art. Look on my feed and find out what piece you want. I'll sell it to you. Oh, no, no, you can
And
get
then
this
that
money.
that
No, I don't want the money. I want to work for money, but you got the money. You have
yes,
to spend it on something. So buy it. Buy my art.
buy something.
Yes, buy
And they're
something
like,
of
I
it.
don't want to buy anything. I just want to
Okay.
circulate this money.
Okay. Well,
But
anyway.
of course they don't. Gary actually just mentioned a very key point. The idea that many people have is get in and get in early and then get out before the dump.
Yeah.
So what people do is they generate these NFTs, they get loads of people buying them, right?
Yeah.
And it's literally a pump and dump scheme. They
Right.
generate these NFTs, make them more valuable, and then before anybody can realize that there's no value to them, before they can descend in value, you sell really quick and then you make your money. So, it's it's cheating people.
Well, I hope you have fun with this, Russell.
I hope I do too, because if I don't, it could all go very bad.
Well, I don't want it to go badly, but I like the idea of you uh, having fun with it. And if they don't give you that artist number one slot, I think you have to say, well, I'm really not interested.
Jeez.
But you can say, I have
I'm
people lined up already for number 2 and 3, but I've got other West Virginia artists that are very interested in this, and they can be featured artists 2 and 3, but I have to be number one first. And let's see what
yes.
they say about that.
We'll see. I'll list some friends. Yeah.
So,
Oh boy. I mean, I really am in on this because I want to see what happens. The
well,
sad fact of the matter is probably nothing will happen and these guys will give up. But if they don't give up, then it could all turn out very, very entertaining.
you have to explain a little bit about what you do with the uh, Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, I mean, they're the
They're
Mormons,
in
you mean?
they're in therapy right now because of you. But tell them what you do with them.
Well, I mean, for a long while, and I've basically stopped doing this now because, they keep showing up and it gets tiresome even for me. I would,
I see.
invite the Mormons in and I would ask them these deep theological questions. And
Yeah.
they're just these poor high school kids who are out there reading from a script. They don't know what to tell me.
Yeah.
Some of them actually get their minds blown,
Yeah, I know.
which shows how little it takes to blow a Mormon's mind.
Well, it it it's amazing though. I mean, I have fun too with the scammers that are trying to get me to buy them whatever a gift card to Amazon or whatever the hell they want me to buy. But it can be fun, but it does take time. And uh, if you're not doing anything else, it's fine. But if you do have another idea that might be worth actual money, not NFTs, you might want to work on the actual money making thing.
Yeah. I mean, with the NFTs, and Gary Scott has brought this up. I mean, he basically says, it's possible to make long-term money, but you have to be very careful with your investments.
Yeah,
That's fine. I would say, I mean, why not make a normal investment? I guess the answer to that would be that, it's harder to enter into the other investment market because that one is all clogged up. So you see, you know, what ends up happening is people create sub markets so that they can participate in a market that they are already basically locked out of, right? Where the big
yeah,
buyers have taken up everything else.
yeah,
In the end, it really comes down to a philosophical question about money, and about, the stock system in general.
yeah.
I don't care for it. That's my position.
Okay.
I think it could have been something good, but it doesn't really do anything the way it's working now because people are just sort of generating things. No, Gary, I don't think I want to buy into your Brooklyn Bridge NFT project.
You don't?
I actually do not. I already have a Brooklyn Bridge, believe it or not.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
Does
I bought the second one. The guy came in, he
I
said,
see.
"Look, the first Brooklyn Bridge, we already sold that, but you could be the first guy to buy an all new Brooklyn Bridge." So I bought it. They still haven't built it yet. They're working out the
Oh,
details.
they're working.
They're working out the details. They're
Okay.
going to announce it soon. So I see you're looking at some wonderful.
This is what I want our money. This is what I want a Bitcoin to look like. The paper money version
Yes.
of Bitcoin. Swampland in Florida.
Are these okay? No, this is a penmanship.
These
I
are
thought
all
these were deeds of some sort.
no. These are business college bank. This is just some book I had on my shelf that's falling apart. The glue is coming undone.
Hmm. So apparently Gary has swampland in Florida.
Well, that's it's going to be the coming thing. Soon, all of Florida will be
I mean,
swamp.
Walt Disney built his entire enterprise on swampland in Florida.
Yeah,
He bought up all the most useless land and then built Disney World on top of it.
yeah. Well, that was smart thinking, perhaps.
Well, yeah. I suppose. I mean, yeah, I guess so. You have. I mean, he was. It was a good move. It was a good move, and he kept the entire thing secret so that nobody would come in and start buying up the land either, or so that before the state could start taxing that land, right, or adding
Okay,
additional taxes or upping their prices. They didn't let on who exactly was buying the land.
I see. He
They
was
created an entire another
sneaky,
company. It
sneaky.
was a very sneaky move, and that was how Disney World got created.
Well, I need more water, and I think I'm going to say goodbye and try to do one more little spurt of cleaning up here because my house is a crazy place. So, Mr. Facemeyer, I will see you later. Let me know how it goes tonight
Okay.
on your Zoom meeting with Moose or
It will
Stu.
actually be Raph.
Yes. Just
Maybe Moose will be there.
just watch your back and make sure that they don't get information that they don't need,
Yeah.
like your bank account. Okay.
Yes. If they ask for bank account numbers, I'm out.
You're out. Okay. Very good. We'll see you later. Bye.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.